Landlords, do you know how to deal with unauthorized animals that are in your rental property? In today's video, we're going to discuss the steps that you can take to remove those animals, how to get them out, and the tools that we use to do that. Speaking of tools, the two forms that we are going to touch on today are the animal lease agreement and the lease violation form. Hey everybody, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jason with the Landlord Launch, and we help landlords self-manage their property through online workshops, landlord workshops, through on-demand training, and through access to resources much like this video, again, where we're going to try to help you with any situations where you're dealing with an unauthorized animal. So if you find yourself dealing with an unauthorized animal, if you're doing inspections, or if you're over there for maintenance, or the neighbors are complaining about a dog is barking, but they're not supposed to have a dog, the first thing I recommend that you do is try to obtain some sort of evidence, pictures, maybe an email from the neighbor saying that there's a dog at the property, something along those lines. Because when it comes to lease violations that are not rent related, they become a little more complicated, and it is a good idea to have some sort of proof to back up the lease violation and the things that you are trying to get accomplished there. If not, it ends up becoming a matter of he said, she said. So if you already accept pets, I would highly recommend that you use an animal lease agreement, an addendum, something along those lines. And the reason being is because it outlines the terms and the conditions of that agreement with the pet for your home. What it also does, which becomes helpful in this situation, is identifies which pets are allowed to be in the home. And therefore, if you say that you allow one cat at your property, and the neighbors are complaining of a dog that's barking, or you see evidence of a dog that's barking, or get a picture of a dog that's barking, and you want to issue that lease violation, you now have that animal lease agreement to fall back on, saying, hey, you're only allowed to have this one cat, and you have brought another animal into your home, and then you can move forward with the lease violation agreement. So that brings me to my next point, is that when you go to deal with this, issue a written lease violation. And the lease violation should reference something in your lease agreement or the pet agreement if you allow pets in the new pet or animal, rather I should say, is violating that, because then you have something to reference specifically. So in the lease violation, or in the lease agreement, the lease violation notice, you actually state on there that these are the reasons that the lease is in violation. You can reference specific information and verbiage in the actual lease agreement, and then on that violation notice, you tell them what the cure is. You have so many days to remove this animal, and if you do not, then you have this many days to move out of the home, or we're going to proceed with eviction, or whatever that verbiage states for you. So again, in writing, it establishes the date of the communication, establishes the time frame that they have to cure the situation. And then that also lets you know when it is time to go and re-inspect to make sure that violation has been actually cured. So depending on your state, it could be 5 days, 10 days, 14 days, know your local laws, but whatever that time is after your 5, 10, 14 days, 7 days, whatever it is, go back and look for and re-inspect the home, look for any type of evidence, and if 10 to 1 you're not going to find it, because they're going to know that you're coming back to re-inspect. So even if they haven't cured the situation, they're most likely going to hide the animal anyway. But it is what it is. It also means that once you do that, once you establish that it's been cured, if they violate that again, then you can just go straight to a 30-day notice to vacate. You don't have to continue to give lease violations like that. So it's important to go through the process, issue the warnings, issue the reinspection, and then of course if you do find violation, they haven't removed it, well then move on with what you got to move on with. And then get them out. And that's really the steps that you have to take to get this taken care of. Get your proof, issue your violation notice, give them the time frame to get it taken care of, re-inspect. If they fail that re-inspection, move them on. If they don't, then they've been served, and if they do it again in the future, same violation, you can ask them to leave from that point forward. So once again, the two tools that we talked about just briefly here today are the animal lease agreement, the addendum, the animal responsibility. There's a lot of different names for it. The other one is the lease violation notice. If you do not have either of these and you would like a copy of them, let me know in the comments below. I'll send them over to you. You can download them, you can edit them, you can make them your own, you can implement it in your business today. So that is what I have for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. This is Jason with the Landlord Launch, and we will see you next time.